Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here first, Lady T. And happy Friday to you, or Saturday morning. I don't know where you are. Hello, Yulibi. Thank you for being here. Carlene Beckford. Helen Marmon is here. Emerald Derrick. Alrighty. Joyce Anderson. Kathy G. And you know that song is stuck in my head, Lady T. I don't know why you did that. I'm talking square bits to you, baby. Square, square bits. I'm talking love. That is square, square bits. That's the Lady T I'm thinking of. I'm talking square bits to you, baby. Let's see. Elaine Parker is here. Thank you so much for being here, Elaine Parker. Let's see. At last, hi everyone from the UK. At last, you know everything triggers a song. My love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Okay, I promise. No more musical triggers. Hello, Judy Mustard and Black Queen is here. Let's see. Black Queen wants to say hi. Thank you very much. Emma D with the Forget Me Nots. That's a song, but I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But I want you to remember. Let's see. Lydia Washington is here. Sorry, Lydia, there's no songs there. I can't think of a song. Let me see. Teresa McDougal. Nah, nothing for that. Uh, okay. I'm scrolling along here. I'm just gonna go. I think there's a super chat. Is it? Yes. Allie, thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Deidre Meinke is here. Thank you very much. And Rochelle Baldreau. I'm just kind of skipping along here. Novi D. Is it Soini Bantalon? Thank you so much for being here. And Marianne Morris. Oh, Elaine Parker. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex as well as a moderator. A triple threat. You got all those talents going on. Thank you so much. And Martine Denise is here. Let's see. Boss Chic, thank you so much for being here. Well, that's two songs. Love taught me who was the boss. And then, of course, there's a band that was known as Chic. Freak out. Okay, no more musical triggers. Joy Amore, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right. You won't believe this. I think I'm prepared today. That is so unlike me, but I think everything is ready to go. I can't believe it either. I tell you, when stuff goes like that, it just really freaks me out. I'm just like, is there an imposter sitting at my keyboard? Uh-oh. Where is that coming from? Oh, I need to turn it down. You know, sometimes I don't know if you guys can hear it or not when I open up something else on my PC. I think that the computer suppresses that, but if I open up something from another device, then you can hear that. It's amazing how that works. But yeah, so I don't know if you heard that or not. But if so, it's no big deal. It was just me opening up another screen so I can see everything that you guys are seeing. So, with that being said, got that and wunderbar. Okay. And Okay. All right. I understand that. There's something very spiritual about Stevie Wonder's music. Something very spiritual about it. Um, I really can't put it into words, but maybe it's because of his lack of vision. Maybe he can make us see things with words that other artists are unable to, because not only is he a great singer, but he's also a songwriter and a very talented musician. One thing that almost brings a tear to my eyes when I hear Stevie Wonder play the harmonica. It's beautiful, so melodic and enchanting, almost ethereal. Let's see. LH, thank you so much for the Cash App, and thank you so much for watching. Very deep and low this time. Royals. I couldn't do it. Wait. Royals. Where's my voice going? Royal Sussex. All right. That's about as low as I can go right now. But I tell you what, since Church Nellie has been through the change, I'm sure she can hit those low notes. A Church Nellie. Church Nellie will give you Paul Robeson, James Earl Jones. And just for good measure, throw a little, what's the name in there? Tallulah Bankhead. There you go. You can get all three of those. All right. Thank you very much for being here, Church Nellie. And also thank you for being the moderator as well as a member of, go ahead and say it, Church Nellie. Oh, man. Okay. I got to stop. I got work to do. All right. So, again, I cannot be more proud of Harry if I tried. And, I was thinking about the Sussexes today. And, you know, as much as the haters, the derangers, the tabloids, they might like to create this image of Meghan pushing Harry around and Harry's dancing to her music and such, when we all know that's not true. I think that, not I think, I know that Meghan has a huge amount of respect for all humanity. And in particular, she leaves a very wide open um, space for her husband to operate and to work independently and to let him problem solve on his own without a whole bunch of input. I don't think a lot of people can see that, but um, I think that they have so much respect for each other and they're so considerate to each other. And the people in this world who don't have that, people who've never had that, people who have a spouse or partner or whatever their situation is, they have someone that is plotting against them or jealous of them for the littlest of things. We all know the Sussexes operate very well away from each other, working on their own projects and such. And yes, there was a ridiculous headline I saw today, and I'm just like, because they don't know what's at play, they don't know what's coming down the pike. In order to feel like they're in control, or in order to make sure that they uh, prove to their management or their agents or whoever they answer to, in order to try to prove that they have some level of control over what's happening with the Sussexes, or at least a window into their world, they just make up stuff. They constantly make up stuff. And of course, more often than not, we find out otherwise, or for sure, we probably know better than they do because we're not looking at the Sussexes with contempt and hostility the way that some of the reporters and I guess some of their so-called palace sources operate. So that's the big difference. Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you, and of course, thanks. Did I say thanks for being a member? If I didn't, I was thinking it. But yeah, thank you for being a member. But yeah, so I am proud of Harry. I told you guys nothing was going to happen in the UK. Didn't I tell you that? Also, I noticed that Harry was not in a taxi. Harry seemed to be moving about in a Range Rover, just like any other member of the British royal family when they are senior royals out and about and such. So that I did notice. I noticed it last time when he went to court, and I noticed it this time as well. There was not a single mishap that we know of. The only thing that comes close to that is that when Harry made his surprise visit to the to the Windsor Castle, to the St. George Chapel, there just happened to be a member of the public that noticed him or noticed the Range Rover. I'm guessing they may not have known Harry was in there, but they knew some member of the royal family was likely there when they saw that Range Rover. And much to their surprise, who steps out? The Duke of Sussex. I think that that's what's happening with that. I don't think that that was in any way deliberate, which means what? What does that mean to you guys? I'm going to tell you what it means to me. It means that however is happened or however it's been arranged, the media, at least while he's over there, seems to have backed off. Don't know what that means. Now, that could mean that they have been outwitted by the royal protection. They may have been outwitted by Harry's security, however that's been arranged. But surely Harry has his own people with him anyway. But I think that there is some type of cooperation going on to avoid a mishap, to avoid a tragedy. I'm guessing. I don't know that for sure, but that's been my suspicion for a while. And I hope that is the case because he is the son of a sovereign. He is the son of a head of state. And those are the things that come with a position like that, a position that you didn't ask for. In his case, something he was just born into. Hi, Big Mom. Big Mom says the sole purpose of the haters and tabloids is clickbait. They know Harry and Meghan is awesome together or separately. The royals are jealous. That's it. That rested. Yeah. Thank you very much. And that is so true because they are jealous because they don't have what the Sussexes have. They're not capable of it. Anytime someone marries into that family, and the only time they've taken a trip abroad as a solo royal family member was to go to Denmark, which the people of Denmark are still trying to figure out why is Kate here. But that's the only trip that she's ever taken abroad by herself where she was actually on official royal duty. None other. That's it. I couldn't explain that. She's over 40 years old and she only just got the courage to do that. And it was a flop. It was a flop. And the people don't even know why she was there. So here's a couple of photos from last night that you probably have not seen. Maybe, I think I have 3 of them. So nothing special. It's the same people that you saw last time. But just Harry holding court, if you will. You know, when people are in Harry's presence, the one thing that I've noticed is that people are not paying attention to him as a matter of deference. people are not waiting for the next joke so that they can seem clever and witty. People are actually listening to him because he has something to say, because he has the entire breadth and width of the information at hand, and he's able to articulate himself extremely well. There were some people who watched his speech from last night and assumed that he was not using any notes. Now, there was a teleprompter, but for someone who is not necessarily an entertainer and media savvy for that reason, Harry spoke with so much command of that stage, of that room, that it was very difficult to tell whether or not he was speaking off the top of his head or if he was using notes. Now, I will say this: when people use a teleprompter, the whole point of it is it's supposed to be as seamless as possible. You're not supposed to know that the person is referring to notes, whether it's the piece of paper in front of them or the teleprompter. So why did he pull the piece of paper out of his pocket? Well, that's a very simple answer. This is something that you should know if you ever find yourself in that position. The teleprompter sometimes can fail. And if the teleprompter fails, you should be prepared to glance at your notes and continue the speech or whatever. You should be able to continue seamlessly. So that is just being a professional. So people say, well, he took his notes out of his pocket and he didn't look at them. Well, he didn't need to. And I'm pretty sure, aside from a few things, he probably had memorized that speech extremely well and knew exactly what needed to be said. And the really cool thing about Harry is that so many times when Harry is speaking, just like he is in close quarters like this, he knows so much of what he speaks of. When I first noticed Harry's ability to articulate was the me you can't see, the me you can't see. When he was speaking to these people with all these credentials in social science and of course, Oprah Winfrey, and he was holding his own rather. He was holding his own with these people. I literally got a tear in the corner of my eye. I was so impressed that day and every day since. I have paid that much more attention to everything that Harry says. I mean, he was always charismatic, but now he has someone in his life that brings out the very best of him. And he just does not put a foot wrong. I don't care what the haters say. I don't care what the derangers say, what the media says. He does not put a foot wrong. He is so polished without a whole team of people at Kensington Palace scurrying about or taking 3 and 4 hour lunch breaks and opening up envelopes and taking contributions and gifts that the public have sent home. Oh, did I say that out loud? Anyway, he doesn't have that. What he has is intelligence, integrity. And of course, he makes sure that he understands these topics. A politician should be as thorough as Harry is. A politician ought to be that good. Judy, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex, and happy Friday or early Saturday morning to you. Well, thank you so much for being here. Duchess Royal, thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm so far behind with the comments, but that definitely jumped out. Pretty color. Okay, I'll just go here. Oh, that's not even for me. Okay, that's easy. How about if I, nope, that ain't for me either. Okay. Well, let me go back a little bit. Uh-huh. Okay, there we go. Joyce Post says the royal family convinced people by using the UK press that Harry was not smart, and it is completely the opposite. He has brains. Oh, he is the brains of the family, right? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just so you guys. I keep saying this. I know I sound like a broken record. I'm so impressed. I don't have the words. All I can say over and over again is that I am so impressed. I could not be more proud. You know, if if I was just maintaining this channel to defend Harry from the feelings of nostalgia and all the feelings for Princess Diana alone, that would be reason enough. But what really has defined what I do here is how proud I am of him and how encouraged, how motivated I am because you can see that he's doing the things that he's doing because he cares. I mean, he's got to be one of the luckiest people in the world to have these feelings of philanthropy and charity and goodwill toward all, and to be able to operate like that and at the same time maintain a household, a family, connections, and such to submerge yourself into this type of information that can help so many people. I mean, that's got to be surreal some days for him that he's actually in the room with some of these people, not because of who his mother was, but because who he is and because what he knows, what he's good at. That's a whole nother thing. I mean, a university education could not possibly um, meet this place where he is right now. I mean, there are some people that are there that have had no education, a little education, a lot of education, but yet they were not brainwashed by an institution that tried to convince him that he would never be able to function away from his brother, that he was not smart, that he was prone to mistakes, and that he should not marry. I mean, this just the idea that people think that Harry has had this ultimate life of privilege, and why wouldn't people believe that? And then you find out that he's carrying his clothing away from this boarding school where he was just discarded by his family. He's carrying his possessions in a bin liner, in a common trash bag. And he didn't know the difference. He didn't care one way or the other. He was just happy to be. But looking back on it, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't really care one way or the other, but again, it's not the life that we thought it would be. We picture these big leather trunks and all that kind of Richie Rich kind of stuff. And no, they give him a minder, someone with military experience. They give him a minder and royal protection officers and leave him on his own. And from what I can tell, they never encouraged his brother to look after him. And it's a good thing because I'm pretty sure his brother could not be bothered. So, yeah, I am very, very impressed. And everything went well in the UK, you guys. Everything is going to go exceptionally well in Germany. I know it is. So, worry not, you guys. We have crossed this first hurdle, and everything is very well planned. And there is a government in the nation of the German Republic, Deutschland Republic, that is there to help, there to uplift, there to showcase, to be the spotlight, and everything else that's needed for this event. So it's not like he's over in the UK where there's people actively trying to sabotage him. This is a whole nother situation here. And like I said, I believe it's going to go extremely well. So I am very, 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 very optimistic about everything coming. And it's been a good week. It's been a good week so far. And this good week is only going to get better. So we got the whole weekend. His birthday is coming up. Win-win. Yeah, sometimes you just have to recognize a win for just that. It is a win. So anyway, let me get on with some things here. Thank you for everyone who just joined us. Also, please don't forget to hit the like and share. And do you know Royal Sussex is less than 50 subscribers away from 36,000 subscribers? Did you guys know we were that close? All we need is just I guess 48 people, 46 people, and Royal Sussex will be at a whopping 36,000, unexpectedly 36,000 subscribers. So handle your business. Oh man. Okay. And you're right, I am stalling. I'm doing something right now. Let me do this really fast. Where did that go? Aha, there it is right there. Okay, just something I want to show you guys. Come on. Make it happen. Okay, that didn't work out. All right, I'll come back to it. Got it. Perfect. Perfection. All right. No, I wasn't stalling that whole time. All right, let me go back here. Don't want to miss anything. Thank you so much, Joyce Bose. And Marlene Williams, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. Okay, I'm going to scroll through now all the way to the end so I can go to the next slide. Oh, all right. So Joyce Yvette Davis says the British media are silent because they have had to eat crow in the last few days. Their narrative about the Sussexes have blown up in their faces, and they are scared of him because they see he possesses the skill and others don't. Exactly, because they have bet on the wrong horse, literally and figuratively. They have bet on the wrong horse or horses, but thank you so much for your comment. Harry said that they're afraid of losing the narrative. That's the one thing that scares them the most. So we've done this and this. Aha. All right. So there is the group of children from last night. There's Harry in the background. It was a great speech he gave. The occasion was stellar. And I really enjoyed it. Oh, let's see. MR, thank you so much for the Cash App. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. Moving on. Now, the tie. I believe the tie is from Hermes. That is a Hermes tie. They put some amazing quality in their stuff. Now, whether it's actually worth the amount that it costs, I tell you what, when you have just the right fabric, when you have just the right cut, when everything falls in place, it's just something about it that you cannot put into words. I mean, quality is quality, and that is all to it. And so, yes, it is a very expensive necktie. Yes, he can well afford it. And this is why certain things cost a certain amount of money. But you could always get that look for a lot less, or you can always go to a resale shop and find some of those very same pieces surprisingly affordable. So I don't know how he feels about clothes. I mean, I'm assuming he likes to look good, but oh, he's a long way from those frumpy suits he used to wear. He is a long way from that. He has given me corporate CEO. Well, he really is, isn't he? As well as a executive producer. Now, take a look here. So Harry really upset the apple cart today, y'all. He truly upset the apple cart. So let me try to zoom into that very small print there. It says Prince Harry dramatically upped the ante in his war with the royal family Friday. Of course, that is all their opinion. It's not a war. Harry is just going about his business as he upstaged his estranged brother, Prince William, by making a shock visit to the late Queen's grave on the 1 year anniversary of her death. He was snapped by a member of the public emerging from St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, where the Queen is buried. So this is yet another ninja move by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. Prince Harry dramatically upped the ante. Oh, that's the same thing here. Okay. He was, okay, let's just start there. He was snapped by a member of the public emerging from the St. George's Chapel in Windsor, where the Queen is buried. Just minutes before William and Kate were due to attend a service in her memory. They were in Wales, by the way. And speaking of William and Kate, check this out. This is what I was trying to dig out while I was talking a few minutes ago. Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Look who was late again. Well, I have no doubt that they probably stopped to make another one of those slick Hollywood videos. No doubt, just like on the Coronation Day, just like when William went to the Pret sandwich shop. Once again, they stopped to try to make another one of those slick, stylish videos. Now, I don't have proof of that, but usually when they're late, what happens before that is that they have a camera crew there. You know how they have accused other people of going nowhere without the Netflix cameras? Well, it turns out that they have a propensity toward entertainment, or at least self-aggrandizement, by making themselves available to just about any camera crew in a 10-mile radius. Like right here, Prince William and Kate arrived an hour late to Wales for their QE2 memorial event. Yeah, it's like 30 something degrees. And by the way, you guys, why is it, according to someone I heard earlier, why is it that she's out there in 32 degrees wearing a coat? Doesn't she know it's hot? Isn't it odd? Does she have a microphone? Does she have a Netflix camera crew hidden inside of her coat? Why is she wearing that hot wool coat on a day like that? I mean, you could see it's hot. William didn't even bother to cover his head. Why is she wearing that coat on such a hot day? I mean, look at the way everybody else is dressed. It is sweltering out there. Yes, I know they arrived by £8 million helicopter that the Queen gave them after William shook her down for it. But it's hot. It's hot, y'all. It's hot. She's wearing a coat and it's hot. It's too hot to be wearing a coat. I wonder why she's wearing that coat. What is she hiding? It's hot. You know what? I was going to try to say that for every time someone else wrote an article about that, but we'll be here all night. So I'll just leave it with one last. It's hot. Why is she wearing a coat? Why are they getting all up in her business about wearing a coat? That's what they did to Meghan. Meghan wore something long or something that covered up, and they thought that she needed a security blanket. They thought that she had some kind of mental difficulties or something. But if Kate does it, it's just another case of bed knobs and broomsticks. It's another case of Kate wearing a coat dress, another coat dress. So, okay, I got that out my system. That was all I wanted to do, but it's hot and she's wearing a coat. Okay, so where was I? He was snapped by a member of the public emerging from the St. George's Chapel and in Windsor, where the Queen is buried just minutes before William and Kate were due to attend a service in her memory. The extraordinary decision by Harry to show up unannounced seemed designed to undermine his brother's carefully scheduled appearance in Wales, some 230 miles away, which began shortly after social media was flooded with pictures of Harry leaving the chapel. Okay, social media was flooded, but the tabloid media, they could have shared it or not shared it. Am I right? They could have kept it to themselves. Just like when the Sussexes went out to the Beyonce concert and they had those sad, pathetic photos, and they showed how Harry looked like he wanted to be someplace else. Remember how they did that? I mean, they played that very well. As a matter of fact, they haven't really let go of it. They haven't let go of it. I still haven't seen any of that in the tabloids. I haven't heard a mention of it in the tabloids. But when Harry goes to the chapel and comes out, snapped by a member of the public, a photograph which he definitely could not have orchestrated. Maybe he didn't know to the last minute he was going. Or maybe, stay with me now, y'all, maybe there was someone who was upstaged by a member of the royal family, somebody who likes to wear coat dresses, but on this occasion they decided to go dressed like Mary Poppins or no, she looked like she looks like Barbie. Yeah, she was looking like Barbie goes to the Tupperware party outfit. She had on a pink dress below the knees, which is odd for her because there's a reason why there's a reason why we have been calling her Kitty, right? Well, anyway, she had on something that had a very conservative hemline. So maybe somebody was still a little, shall we say, put off by the fact that they just showed up unannounced at that flower show, right? So maybe they knew exactly what Harry's plans were. Maybe they helped to authorize or set up the visit to the St. George Chapel. And maybe they were trying to teach another house of Windsor a lesson. Maybe. Recollections may vary, but it seems as though two more senior royals may have set up a couple of less senior royals so that when they showed up for that ceremony of remembrance, it would be on the tail end of Harry popping out of St. George's Chapel looking like $1,000,000, looking fit and healthy and ready for the Invictus Games. Now, of course, I have no proof whatsoever. I was not in the room with any of those people, but it does make one wonder if that was some kind of little payback for showing up at that flower show. I just thought of that just now, huh? But it could have been. Or as Miss Seeley, was it Miss Seeley? Yeah, I think it was no, was it Mr.? Could be not. Who's to say? Yeah, could be not. Who to say? But I tell you what, though, isn't it fun to think of it like that? Isn't it just delightful to think of it as though someone's just been set up? And who's to say you can't teach an old broom a new trick? Oh man. Well, you know what, guys, that probably didn't happen, but it's fun to think of it like that. Let me see. They teleported Mumbles from the 1930s. That's where it goes when she disappears from the public. She loves it there because women were rendered mute. That's right, they were mute women. And what's that? Uncute back then. Oh man, that is funny. But thanks, Black Queen, for the comment. Okay, but yeah, I think it was a setup. I really do. I think it was a setup. It's the only thing that makes sense. I don't think Harry did anything deliberately. Harry probably did not know what was going on with that family. Harry simply goes about his business. He was not expected to be there. He certainly wasn't expecting anyone to snap his photo. So it just happened and it went viral and it completely upstaged the rest of that lot. So the chapel is open to the public. It is thought Harry simply walked in. That's it. He just simply walked in. It was the latest sign of the what is it, perilous low. I'm not going to finish that because this is from the Daily Beast, so you know that is slanderous. So let's just continue. Now there was one person who was a bit short-sighted, someone who thought they knew something. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this video with Chris Ship with a P, not a T, but Chris Ship with a P, not a T, he was standing outside of the Well Child, and Chris Ship with a P, not a T, was literally flailing his hands. His face was all contorted like he was having a spell or something. I mean, he was really taking it hard that Harry went off to parts unknown, that he didn't get a chance to talk to Harry. I think Chris Ship with a P, not a T, wants to talk to Harry so bad. I think it's really eating him alive. So let me go to the sound bite. I hope I have it. I want you to hear the frustration, the anger in his voice.
Just listen to, he went straight in his car and he was off on his way to the Invictus Games at Düsseldorf. This event is just wrapping up tonight, but actually Harry went some time ago. He gave that speech you've just listened to. He went straight in his car and he was off on his way to the Invictus Games at Düsseldorf. This event is just wrapping up tonight, but actually Harry went some time ago. He gave that speech you've just listened to. He went straight in his car and he was off on his way to the Invictus Games at Düsseldorf.
That is 10 seconds long. That is 10 seconds long. He gave more body language of hostility and frustration in 10 seconds than most people would all day. He looked over his shoulder and pointed his thumb. He threw his hand out front like some old jazz singer or something, like he's doing jazz hands like Kate. Then he punched his fist into his palm. Then he gestures. You would think that he was bringing in a 747. It's almost like air traffic control. 10 seconds of hands flailing, face contorted, throat tightened. What's wrong with you? He got in the car and he left. That's it. To hear people talk about it, you would think that it was a longer video. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. That's it. 10 seconds. And it was like he went from anger.
This event is just wrapping up tonight, but actually Harry went some time ago. He gave that speech you've just listened to. He went straight in his car and he was off on his way to the Invictus Games at Düsseldorf. This event is just wrapping up tonight, but actually Harry went some time ago. He gave that speech you've just listened to. He went straight in his car and he was off on his way to the Invictus Games at Düsseldorf.
Acceptance, bargaining, I mean, he went through all the stages of grief in 10 seconds because Harry left the well child. He went through all the stages of grief in 10 seconds. I've never seen anything like it. Hand swelling, eyes squinting, throat tightened up, and hissing and moaning, all of that. The thing is, it happened so fast that you could barely perceive it. But trust me, when I say he went through the stages of grief in 10 seconds, you have to see it. I did screenshots from that 10 seconds, and I didn't cover all of it because take a look here. There's more. He looks to his right, and then he points his hand, and then he threw that finger back. When he threw that finger back, he'd have put someone's eye out if they were behind him. I mean, he was pissed. He was pissed to the heights of pistivity. He was angry, combative. He took us right through the stages of grief. All of that in 10 seconds. And as you can see right there, Prince Harry is making a mockery of the British media. According to Chris Ship, he left for Germany last night. Yet, here he is today in Windsor paying respects to his late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. Duh. So he wasted all that energy. I bet you at night when Chris Ship with a P, not a T, is trying to sleep, that he just lays in the bed with his fist balled up, twitching and turning and kicking violently out of frustration. I don't know what his fixation is about Harry, but Chris Ship with a P, not a T, he could have been covering Will over at the sandwich shop. He could have been a lot of places. He could have been off with Charles somewhere. But instead, he's hanging outside of Wellchild, just like they had him hanging outside the gates of the Invictus Games last time. There's something wrong with this guy. Yeah, he's in deep ship with a P, not a T, or a T, not a P. I mean, it's all over the bottom of his shoe. He can't scrape it off. So again, Harry went to the St. George Chapel to pay respects to his late grandmother. And you know what, guys? I was thinking about this before I went on today, that right, wrong, or indifferent, that is his grandmother. And that is the only other woman in the family besides his mother that he has been that close to. Not his cousins or anything like that, but just his grandmother. And, you know, there's a lot of grandmas that may have had some colonial tendencies that may have had riches gained from colonialism or whatever, but that's still his grandmother. And he always respected his grandmother. And she has been a constant in his life. And even today, she's a constant. When people pass away, they don't actually leave us. They're always in our lives. So the only difference is that once a person passes away, they become a much better person. They make fewer mistakes, I think. So what is there not to love, right? So yeah, so there's Harry with his grandma, and there she is with her favorite grandson. You know, even if someone tried to convince us otherwise, which so far you haven't heard anyone try to sell William as her favorite grandchild. You barely ever hear them associated in the same conversation, but that's another story. But yeah, so he loves his grandma, and he went to go and pay his respects. uh, Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to say is okay. So right here, now you would think that this being the anniversary of the Queen's death, that for sure they wouldn't allow the Sussexes to what is it, to upstage the Queen on the anniversary of her death. But that's exactly what they did. And not only did he upstage the Queen, he upstaged his brother and his father and just about everybody else. So Prince Harry is spotted by tourists making surprise visit to St. George Chapel in Windsor, where Queen is buried to mark anniversary of her death, just as William, meet crowds in Wales. Okay, so William and Kate were in Wales, Harry, of course, at Windsor, and Charles up in Balmoral or wherever the heck they were. And they had a choice: report it or not report it. They chose to report it. If you held back on Harry doing the stanky leg and Meghan shaking her behind like a washing machine, if you can hold off on that, then you can hold off with anything. I mean, Harry was doing the stanky leg. That's not, it's not every day that you see a prince of the realm doing the stanky leg. And yet they refuse to report it. They'd rather show Harry with his hands in his pocket or looking at his cell phone or looking the other way. Not the stanky leg. They could have reported the stanky leg, but they were afraid that Harry's dad dance would humanize him too much, so they wouldn't report it. They were afraid that watching Meghan throwing her hips left and right in that silver skirt would have been too much to bear, so they refused to report it. Instead, they wait until Harry goes and visits his grandma's grave, and now it's all they can talk about, and then pretend like he's the one that's upstaging them. He's not doing anything of the sort. They even said a member of the public took his photo. You can't have it both ways. The ninja strikes again. Absolutely. Harry pulled a ninja move on him. Thank you so much, B. Martin. And I insist that Harry did not just show up. I'm pretty sure. Well, you know what? I don't know for sure, but it's what gives me comfort is thinking that Charles and Camilla set up the other two. I take comfort in the idea that Charles and Camilla decided to pull rank on Tweedledee and Tweedledum, or Tweedledummer. Okay, thank you so much, B. Martin, and thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. So take a look here. Prince Harry touches down in Germany for Invictus Games after a brief stop in Windsor to remember the Queen 1 year on from her death, as Kate and William pay their own respects in Wales. Well, this is the first I saw of it. Now, where is William and Kate? As a matter of fact, even later on, the photo of Harry is still much bigger than William and Kate. Now, usually it's Kate that gets the bigger photo on the front page or at the top of the headline. But when they first reported it, she was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found. It was all about Harry. And that was deliberate because they know that Harry sells. Now, I'm going to give you a little lay of the land here. So the main door, which is the west steps, that's where the main entrance is, that is only used by the royal family. Nobody else. That's only for the royals. And when the public comes to visit, you can see like at the bottom of the photo in the middle, on the left side of that kind of octagon shape there, or is it a hexagon, whatever it is, there's an entrance on that side. When you go in, you are able to go into the nave, and then you make your way past that screen, up those few steps there. And on the left side, where the red arrow is pointed as you make your way toward the altar, well, at the top right here. That is where the Queen is buried. That is a vault that contains the human remains of her mother and father, the ashes of her sister, as well as Philip and the Queen herself. It is like a little room. And when I tell you that it's like a marble, it's like if you ever stayed in a hotel, like in Vegas or something like that, and they have that marble bathroom, that's what it looks like. It looks like a little marble bathroom. It doesn't look much like a chapel. It looks, you when you go in there, the first thing you're wondering is, where is the antique bathtub? Where is the loo? Where's anything? That's what it looks like. It's not that big, but there's a gate, and the gate is to keep the public from going inside of that small space. I went there back in 2018, so I know exactly how it's laid out. Now, in the nave, that is where Queen, the George V and his old lady, they both buried there. George VI is in the George VI Memorial Chapel. And there's the altar. And that black square that you see on the floor right there, that black square, that is not that elevator where they lowered the Queen's coffin. That is actually a black granite slab that marks the entrance to Henry VIII's tomb, as well as the other people that are buried. So, not to get too macabre, but just to give you an idea of where Harry was today. As I said, it's like a little room. The Queen had this built herself after her father died. As you can see, when the stones were first laid to build the chapel, which some people were angry because it throws off the symmetry of the building, which is, 800 years old or whatever. But the Queen gets her way. And so the vault is actually below the street level. And, oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. And over on the left side, you can see that they have them stacked up inside. And because there was really only room for 6 coffins, you can see that Princess Anne's ashes are on a pedestal near her parents. So, unfortunately for the Queen, and this is why I get so pissed off when people say, oh, Harry and Meghan, that's why the Queen died. They made her life miserable. Well, if you're the Queen and you know that you're going to have national velvet on top of you for all eternity, or even in the same space that you're in for all eternity, I would think that you would hang on as long as you could. You'd hang on for 70 years on the throne or 96 years on earth, hoping that somehow, some way, she would go first and that maybe Charles would remarry or something. I don't care what anybody says. The Queen was not thrilled about that arrangement. And so Charles and Camilla are going in that vault with the Queen and Philip and her father and her sister and her mother forever. They're going to put them in there and seal it up like a Tupperware bowl, which I'm sure is exactly what the Queen did not want. Could you imagine that? You can see that black granite slab right there. That one is what they lift up, and then they have to lower the coffins down inside. So that was built back in the 1960s, I believe. And anyway, the Queen paid for it. I think it was like some 80,000 pounds or whatever. But that is the the George VI Chapel, which again is where you see that red arrow right there. So little FYI, little information for you guys. And then where Harry makes his exit is probably, you see where it says the choir? Well, that little dark square right there, that is one of the entrances right there. So he probably just walked in, walked straight across the chapel, went over to visit with the Queen there, and then made a beeline straight back out the door, back into the Range Rover. The other side of the chapel, the public never sees that, but the other side of the chapel is housing. There's cottages for people at Windsor, the soldiers or aides or whatever it is. No, the soldiers, they actually have a barracks nearby. But all of the courtiers and stuff, whoever lives at the Windsor Castle, they're just on the other side of the chapel, which is why you never see the other side of it, is because where it says George VI Memorial Chapel, there's a parking lot right there. People are literally parking their Ford Escort about 20 feet away from the Queen's grave. I kid you not. There's cars parked over there. The lorries come over there and drop off stuff. It's nothing elegant about this side of the chapel. It's cleaned up now. It's not all covered in soot and ash like it was back in the 60s. So, okay. So Rebecca English posted earlier today, Prince Harry leaving St. George Chapel at Windsor, where Queen Elizabeth is buried alongside her beloved Philip, on the anniversary of his grandmother's death. A number of members of the royal family have been there privately today, I am told. Well, that's all it is somebody told you. Y'all know nobody else has been to Windsor today. Nobody else is going to go there this week. As a matter of fact, I'm almost certain that Harry showing up is all that there's going to be in the very near future. Nobody else was there, which is why you don't see anybody else's photograph. If someone else from that family has shown up at that chapel today, where's their photo? Where's their photo? Why didn't they snap a picture of them coming out to show how devoted the rest of the family is to the late sovereign? Because Harry is probably the only one that cares. Harry is the only one that cares. Charles couldn't be bothered to go south, just like he couldn't be bothered. As a matter of fact, you guys, I saw one of the derangers with a hate account that posted Harry and Meghan couldn't be bothered to spend time with the Queen before she died. Well, that makes about 10 of them. That's everyone in the line of succession and then some that couldn't be bothered to be there, except for Princess Anne. Charles saw the same thing that I saw. He saw the same thing that the world saw, and that was that his mother was not long for this world. And where was Charles? Setting up for an interview with NBC television, ready to talk to one of them Bush girls, having tea with Camilla miles away. His mama was near death. Now, there's a lot of us in the squad who unfortunately have had to witness our loved ones leaving this earth. And we know you don't go to work that day. We know you don't go to work that week. When someone looks like the Queen, you stay there. The Queen, for all intent and purpose, was in hospice. And where was Charles? Setting up for tea. I take no pleasure in saying this, but leave Harry and Meghan alone. Why do you have to drag them into it? William was somewhere. Kate was somewhere. None of them were there with her. Even Edward was not there. Andrew was not there. And yet, when I saw the photo of the Queen and Liz Truss, I started putting together my memorial. I'm like, well, this ain't going to be long. And I'm just a layperson. I don't know anything. But I had enough sense to know, since they didn't show a video of their meeting, just a couple of still photos that were very grainy and poorly lit, they did that for a reason. Now, how come Charles wasn't there? Leave Harry and Meghan alone. Why you want to keep trying to blame them? I mean, I know you got to keep the hate going, but make it make sense. At least say something that makes sense. But where was the rest of the family? People move 5,000 miles away from their loved ones all the time. I barely saw anybody during the pandemic and didn't care. I didn't care. It didn't tax me one bit that I didn't see most of my relations during the pandemic. I'm like, I want to live. I was like, I want to live. Because if somebody sneezes, I swear I'm going to roll up a newspaper and whack them like a dog just took a poop in the floor. I promise you. Even now, when somebody sneezes, I'm just like, who did that? Did you cover your mouth? So make it make sense. This is 2023. Everybody know the Queen Head Zone. So anyway, let me continue here. Now, this is the guy that I believe deserves an Emmy. This is the man who was there to elevate the Sussexes at a time when the royal family and, of course, the tabloid media was trying to tear them down. This reporter for CNN, Scott McLean, is it McLean? Yeah, disrespectful, and the comments from the Sussex fan clubs are ridiculous. They do talk utter, what is that, cobbler? What is that, Old English? Is that like some Elizabethan English? What is cobbler? Do I get peaches and whipped cream with that? What is cobbler? They do talk utter cobbler. The heck is that? We talk dessert? Oh, anyway. But yes, he's the one who said that Harry and Meghan and the other royals, he referred to them as Prince Harry and Meghan and the other royals. Like right there, it says CNN snubs the Wales reporter is blasted for using Meghan and Harry's names. Oh, did he? Yeah, I think he put Meghan first. He said Meghan and Harry first, and then referring to William and Kate as the other two royals. That gave me my life. Do you hear me? He gets a bell for that. He literally referred to them as the other two royals during report about Windsor Truce walkabout in wake of Queen's death. McLean is a CNN international correspondent based in London and is reporting from the city in the wake of Queen Elizabeth II's death. McLean was doing a segment on Prince William and Prince Harry and their wives, Kate Middleton and Princess Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, reuniting in public. Well, he got it right because, face it, Harry and Meghan are the only royals that matter. The rest of them are just technicalities, but Harry and Meghan are the only royals that matter. Didn't y'all hear the way Will Ferrell got all excited and everything because he was talking to Harry? He didn't know that was happening, that it was surreal. This guy know what's up. Everybody know what's up, but yet they want to try to pull rank on the Sussexes. Yes, they may officially outrank them, but when it comes to the pecking order in the hearts of the public, in terms of people's image of what a royal should be or could be, everybody knows it always comes down to Harry and Meghan and the other royals. Which, by the way, have you guys noticed that this is the photo? That this is the photo of Meghan now with the tabloids? I don't know what they're up to. I don't know what their game is, but they love sharing that photo for some reason. And I think that quietly inside, they are more than excited. I mean, they could share this, but who the heck would want to see it? But they could share Kate at that so-called rave party, which, by the way, it doesn't look like it was anything to rave about. I mean, what kind of rave party has a bunch of pensioners standing around Kate? But I guess if everybody is that old, Kate would be the pretty one. I don't know. Uh, I know there's almost 2,000 people in the chat. Do Rangers abound much, perhaps? You know what? I've been looking at the comments, looking for the derangers leaving their nasty, crude remarks. And ever since Harry and Meghan went and did the stanky leg and the washing machine, you don't really see them that much. They're slowly coming back, Black Queen. Thank you so much for the super chat. But they are slowly coming back. And speaking of the stanky leg, I need Harry and Kate to have a stanky leg contest, because something tells me Kate has been practicing. You see that? Something tells me Kate has been practicing the stanky leg. Something tells me, I don't know what it is, but something tells me Kate's been practicing too. See the way she got them knees turned in? See how she got them knees turned in? She's been practicing. She's been practicing. I'd love to see it. I'm sure it is a sight to behold. Either that or maybe she's practicing the tater dig. Yeah, that's what it is. It ain't the stanky leg. She's doing the mashed potato or the tater dig. Now, I'm going to try this one more time. You guys remember I wanted you to hear how giddy Will Ferrell was about meeting with Harry. Now, you know, when I was trying to find the audio, I couldn't find it. But I just saw it earlier today. So let me see if I cannot grab that right now. Come on, Will. Don't pull a mind trick on me right now. Huh. Okay. I know what to do. Nobody panic. I know what I did. Nope. That's not it either. Okay. Wait. Give me a second, you guys. Don't rush me. And just think, I have been performing flawlessly. It was about time that I messed up something. Okay. Brother Will Ferrell. You know what? Now I don't see it again. Man, how does that happen? I had it and then I didn't have it. Oh, well, never mind. Huh. Or did I save it someplace else? Oh, man. Okay, let me try one more thing since I'm here. Let me try one more thing. No, for sure that's not it. That's my burner account, so I know that's not it. That's the one that I use when I... Anyway, that's my burner account. Yeah, when I burn, that's the one that I use when I burn. So never mind, you guys. It's not that important. But gosh darn it. Huh. Yep, and I lost it again. Never mind. Okay, so let's move on. Wasn't meant to be. So there's Harry touching down in Düsseldorf. Harry is in Düsseldorf. So because this is a public event, normally I don't like to share those kind of photos. But, well, as you know, Harry is in Düsseldorf for the Invictus Games. And so there is no assumption of privacy like in other situations. So for that, I think it's okay to share this. But yeah, so this is Harry at the Invictus Games. Well, going to his hotel. And check this out. Look at how happy the Düsseldorf is. I think Düsseldorf is that like a state as well as a city, or is it a county? Anyway, um, I think, what does Stadt mean? Does that mean state? State of Düsseldorf. Well, either way, I translated. Prince Harry comes again after Düsseldorf something. Now remember, it translates, so it may not be grammatically correct. On Saturday, September 9th, the Duke of Sussex will be joined by Federal Defense Minister Boris Pistorius, by Mayor Dr. Stephen Keller, received in Rathaus, which I think is their parliament building, maybe, or is that a stadium? It's a house, so maybe it's a, yeah, it'll be no, I know what it is. It's the town hall. That is the town hall. I remember I saw that last time. That's the town hall. The reason is the Invictus Games, which start on Saturday in Düsseldorf. So again, you guys, room for celebration. And right there, you can see that town square where the Rathaus is. And they have like all of the street lamps and stuff decked out with the Invictus flags. And of course, there are certain ponds and public water features. Two that I've seen so far, they have the I am Invictus thing floating in those basins. And check it out. Look who's here. You guys see that? The French squatties have arrived. They prefer to remain anonymous, but they are there. And so, oh yeah, I didn't translate that, but I don't know what it says. But it says Sussex Squad, Francophone. Who knows what that means? Oh, B. Martin says they're laying low due to the Queen's death anniversary. That's the word. All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, so that is the French squatties arriving. And it has been so much fun to be on social media. And I know some of you guys are not on the Twitter or Instagram for that matter. But if you were, you would see all of these arrivals, which is fun to watch. But, I'm not going to encourage anybody to go to social media. Protect your mental health and well-being. But for the French that have arrived so far, let's celebrate with a little... All right, so the French are there. Now, did you guys know that a group of Americans have arrived? Check them out. The women of Sussex Squad have arrived at the Invictus Games. The nosy neighbor, the progressive young Black woman, and her very rich, well-to-do mother who doesn't understand why she's living in that neighborhood. And of course, the sassy one. And there's is that a student or something? And of course, there's the seal. And there's the partners back there with the slick haircut. And of course, there's a billionaireess in the center there hanging on the seal. So yeah, when I picture the American Sussex Squad showing up, for some reason, all I could think about is the women of Brewster Place. Even though they're in Dusseldorf, They're going to be sitting out there on the stoop, gossiping and looking to see who in the car just come up the street. Eventually, somebody is going to start talking about how certain people cannot make potato salad. You know what's going to happen. So, yeah. And as you can see, Buddy, the Invictus Games mascot, is actually hanging out with them. So, if you guys are in Düsseldorf, if you see somebody doing the electric slide or the cha-cha slide or whatever, if you hear, you know, some uh, Beyonce or something playing in the background, why didn't you know? Just follow the music, follow the cooking, and you will find the American squatties. Let's see, 518 competitors, 21 countries, 1,036 family members, 21,800 servicemen and women, 13,800 school children from across Europe, and 1,222 volunteers from 30 countries. Very, very, is that country or counties? Maybe it's counties. Oh well. I just took a screenshot. Someone posted that. Maybe it's countries. Well, they have volunteers, 1,222, and there's one day to go, or hours for some people. Also, that sign that I posted there is someone who has more gums. And please don't say the name, don't say the channel. I repeat, feel no need to say the name or the channel. If you know, you know. But there has been someone who seems to have an extra set of teeth, like the alien. When they smile, there's another set of teeth that come out. Anyway, they have been to Cologne or Munich or one of those places. I believe they were supposed to go to Cologne and Munich, and they were threatening to go to Düsseldorf. Someone very hateful, someone very deranged. Well, there have been some squatties that were not going to sit back and take it. I would suggest next time that person not make an announcement. And even if they did, trust me when I say this, if there is any derangers out there that think that you're going to go there and cause problems, if you think you're going to leave someone to watch all 50 of your cats, or to stay in your house and watch all of your rubbish for you, I wouldn't do it if I were you. I repeat, I wouldn't do it if I were you. That's the wrong place. That is the wrong place. Security is going to be very tight, and they are not going to tolerate disruptions. And in this day and age where they can detect faces in the crowd, people, they could use photo recognition to identify people. I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't try it. It might be fun to talk about it, but I wouldn't try it, because there's going to be all types of military brass there. And you don't want to find yourself in trouble in another country. So do yourself a favor and do not bother. It's not a good idea. But you know what? If you know better than I do you, boo. But just remember, you're a long way from home. You're a long way from home. I love when Americans go places and get confused about what their rights are. I don't care if they do have blonde hair. They get confused about things. So anyway, that's all I have to say for that. There's an arrow to the left. There's an arrow to the right. I suggest you take the left road and not bother. Now, I suppose these are tickets. Someone posted this. The number of Invictus Games alone are extraordinary. The achievements of the participants, even more so. From a mascot to 150 kilometers of cable and 20,000 spectators, the numbers for Invictus Games Düsseldorf 2023, presented by Boeing, are pretty impressive with great effort. The grounds in and around the Merkel Spiel Arena were transformed into the Invictus Game Park to provide the competitors with a perfect sporting event. 9 years after the first Invictus Game, 2014 in London, the Invictus Games Düsseldorf 23, presented by Boeing, will be held during the sixth Invictus Games 518 and wait a minute, I think something cuts off there. And competitors from 21 countries will face off in 10 different sports over 6 days of tournaments. And lots of security, by the way. All participants are bringing 2 guests from family and friends who can enjoy themselves in 3 community rooms that 1,036 supporters who will be cheering on the athletes alongside 21,800 servicemen and women from all participating countries and 13,800 school children from across Europe. You guys, I'm getting goosebumps. I am getting emotional and I'm getting goosebumps at how big this is. To house all of this, the Invictus Games Park was built on grounds of the Merkel Spiel Arena in 8 days. Looks like it's 950 workers, or is it 95 workers? Put in 1,500 hours to create 88 additional rooms, maybe. For this, required more than 150 kilometers of cable, 2,000 meters of flooring, 3,000 meters of floor construction, 6,000 meters of scenery construction, 500 kilograms of fire protection paint, and 5,600 meters of wall cladding, and 2,500 meters of theater curtains. 1,222 volunteers from 30 countries were distributed among the 17 arenas of operations, in addition to 329 motors. Were more than 92,000. Oh, these numbers are driving me crazy. 92,450 meters of power signal cables. Almost there, you guys. 580 loudspeaker boxes, 219 meters of trusses, and you ready? 1,551 lamps are needed. Oh, my goodness, that was a lot. Anyway, so that is what it takes to create the grounds of the Invictus Games. Now, take a look at this photo. I told y'all there was going to be a barbecue. You think that the American squaddies were there just because they bought tickets? No. They needed them to make the potato salad. Now, I know in Germany they make a fine potato salad, but let's face it, you need some sisters if you want that potato salad to be right. So, and don't put any relish in it. No relish. Don't put any relish or celery and stuff in it. Ugh, I hate celery. Let me see. Lady T says, Baron, just say they went all out for this event. Thank you, Lady T. Yeah, forget all that stuff I said. They went all out for this event. Donna Black says, I believe they may have taken Meghan's name off of the scheduling because of security purposes and not let the public know exactly what day she will appear in Düsseldorf. Well, Donna Black, you have a point there, because I remember someone was saying that when they went to the Invictus Games last time, they started asking about Meghan, and the security people started giving them the look. And there is like a protocol that takes place when Meghan is about, and they said everything seemed a little different all of a sudden. So it was like they could tell that it was either the king of the Netherlands or it was Meghan. That's the type of atmosphere that took place. It was just like the king of the Netherlands were there. So um, they may have changed up some things, and then again, Meghan may not be there. There's no guarantee that she'll be there. If they changed up some things, there may be a reason for that, or it could have been some miscommunication. So we won't know until we know, and that's the way it's going to be. And I'm all right with that. There's my girlfriend right there. I think I am ready to propose. There's something about this chain smoking, cussing, rugged. I don't know what it is about her, but she just drives me crazy. Do you understand me? She drives me crazy. When she called people a D head, I was like, you know what? I'd marry her if she'd have me. She is too funny. That is, wait a minute, what is her name? I done forgot her name. I done forgot her name. Yes, and no raisins in a potato salad. Ugh, 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 ugh. No raisins in a potato salad. Do you hear me? Do not put raisins in potato salad. It doesn't go there. And make sure you sprinkle a little paprika on top. But yeah, what is it? Tara? Tara. And what was her alter ego name? Yulia. Anyway, why she's not one of the Avengers, I don't know. When they cast the new Avengers movie, if they don't put this girl in the Avengers, they wasting their time. I think she's the only one who could take down what's his name, Thermos, whatever his name is. But yeah, she should be one of the Avengers. Now, investigation launched into Daily Mail ghostwriting. Outrage grows after whistleblower reveals paper attached names of Black commentators to racist articles. So there is an investigation going on. Right here it says an investigation has launched into the claims that the Daily Mail engaged in blackface ghost writing by attaching names of Black commentators to racist articles they had not written, meaning, of course, someone at the Daily Mail wrote it, just not the Black person whose name is featured with the article. The probe by Byline Investigate, come on, Byline, and Expose News follows the revelation by whistleblower Dominique Samuels that she had consented to a case of ghostwriting and rejected other requests from Daily Mail staff. Regular columnist Nana Akua, also known as The Wig, who is also a GB News presenter, blocked the Twitter X user who asked whether any of her articles had been ghostwritten for her. Esther Kraku, whatever her name is, a talk TV presenter, has also been asked the question, but has yet to respond. Dun, dun, dun. What y'all think of that? Huh? What y'all think of that? Now, right here, no one has promoted tolerance like the royals, which is why I can't forgive the Sussexes for their vindictive claims of racism in the royal family, writes Esther Kraku. Krakui. Well, y'all know who she is. That's that one that be on the Good Morning Britain and them other shows, letting the Sussexes have it. Now, as you can see right there, that person who asked that question about the ghostwriting, what happened? She hasn't answered yet. And as for the hair, scary hair, Nana Akua, she hasn't answered because she actually blocked the person. So, what's going on here? How many times has a person of African descent taken money from these right wing uh, royalist colonial newspapers and just let them attach their names to it? How many times has that happened? Yeah, Nana is such a big disappointment. Number one, no self-respecting woman should walk out the house with that much. Well, I'm not even going to talk about her hair, but she is a disappointment. So the wig was called out. Yeah, they called her out and she blocked them. She blocked them. They asked and her response was blocked. Yes, he's very quiet, and so is Hoghead. They're all suddenly quiet, if you ask me. The only one who is consistently running her mouth is this big liar here. You can't shut her up. But all the rest of them, they have gone a bit quiet, I think, for some unknown reason. I mean, anybody who can keep their mouth closed while Harry is at a Beyonce concert doing the stanky leg, that takes a lot of discipline. You mean to tell me, as hungry as y'all are for clickbait, Harry is at a Beyonce concert doing a stanky leg, and you all ain't got nothing to say about it? Seriously? I would have thought they'd jumped all over that. They kept their mouth shut. So, I saw a rat. Now, right here, Outrage Fest about Notting Hill Carnival is tiresome and, to be honest, manufactured. This is how it started. I was asked to be the face of a ghost-written, negative, verging on racist piece by the Daily Mail paper last year and eventually turned it down because it was a complete misrepresentation of what I witnessed whilst I was there. So she was there at the fest, and there were some 2 million people, which, as I said, is about the size of an American city. 2 million people went through that festival. And out of 2 million people, there were 9 arrests and I suppose a couple of stabbings and whatever else. There was drug usage, right? And also people defecating in the on private property, which sounds like any bank holiday weekend that I've ever seen covered in the Daily Mail. Do you know how many times I looked at the Daily Mail and I've seen these girls that they love to photograph barfing in the street, passed out on the sidewalk, guys getting into fights, and yes, the occasional person gets shanked. You know how many times I have seen that covered in the Daily Mail, but the big difference is the Daily Mail did not target those individuals because of race. They were not trying to make a case against anything that celebrates the Black culture or African culture. They didn't target them because of the revelry. They targeted the festivities because of the focus on Black culture. That's why they were targeted. That's why they needed uh, Dominique Samuels to be the face of the column, because that way it will look like another Black person is trying to teach the rest of Black people how righteous the United Kingdom is, and how it's not about race, it's about the violence, it's about the this, the that, the that, the that. And like she said, it was verging on racist piece. No, it was racist. It was racist. And one of the things that lets me know that I didn't get it wrong is when you see, especially young white people, when they identify it faster than I could even get it out of my mouth, then you know there's something wrong. And that's what I love about the young people, is that they tend to be more able to just speak truth to power and identify the inconsistencies of these type of stories. So, it's lots of violence. Anytime there's like a Super Bowl or a World Series in the United States, anytime there's a big game like that, this is when we see proof positive that there's little daylight between black and white people when it comes to violence. Turned over cars, looting, all types of debauchery is taking place after those games. And yet, it is just a few people who have gone astray when it's white people, but when it's black people, they want to bring in the National Guard. They over police. And that's what happened at the festival, is that whenever there's a black face, they tend to over police the situation. The whole stance that they take changes. If they just suspect it had something to do with somebody black, then all of a sudden they want to go and get the riot gear. They escalate a situation. They commit brutality against people that are just there to bear witness to the law enforcement because of the heavy handed nature of these types of law enforcement events. So that is why. So it's not verging, it's not bordering, it is exactly what it appeared to be, racist. Speaking of races, Sir Trevor Phillips, there are more important things for people of color than revisiting historical wrongs. I'd love the energy spent on slavery reparations to be used to save the next black kid who's going to get stabbed. I have to ask, Trevor, did you write that yourself or was it written for you? I would love to believe that someone else wrote that, but this is the thing. Y'all know how Uncle Trevor is. Uncle Trevor is just like Uncle Ben Carson, is just like Uncle, what's his name? The one that the Queen used to, oh gosh, I can't remember his name, but they're all alike. They're all alike. They got those positions because they say and do exactly what needs to be done so that they can win favor, so that they can win the trust, so that they can be presented those little trinkets. So Trevor Phillips pictured is clattering around in the kitchen of his North London home, making a meal for one. Yeah, I bet he's making a meal for one because who could stand to be in the same space with him? Or as he calls it, a lonely person's dinner. I guess you are lonely. And certainly you you probably ain't gonna have a sister in there with you. Not with that kind of talk. If you did, well, that's okay, because the only woman I could think of that could share that space with him, she's already married to somebody else in the UK. But I would think that he would do well with that particular person. But anyway, you can see over there, Trevor says Meghan Markle had to learn to be black when she joined the royal family, but made a bit of a mess of it after she grew up in wealthy LA district with race never part of her background. Well, the same Trevor who said that, and then of course they reported it in the Daily Fail, is the same Trevor who came up with this nonsense. So let me just say this, like I would tell anybody else. Yes, there is black on black crime, but the thing is, we're not paying those kids to protect us. We're not paying those thugs or those whatever they are that have taken someone else's life, that has maimed or injured. We're not paying them with tax dollars. We're paying the police. We are paying the police to solve crime. We're paying police to enforce the law. We're not paying police to kill us. So that's what the difference is. So whatever you have to say about um, black on black crime or situations like that, it does not matter where the police are concerned. If the police do not want to do the job according to proper training, then they need not wear the badge. They need not carry a weapon. I'm so tired of people saying all that stuff about, oh, well, what about this and what about that? I don't care. You are taking a salary to serve and protect, not to use the law against me. You use the law to protect me, not use the law against me. So that's that. And of course, when he had Morton on his show, he asked Andrew Morton about Meghan coming back to the United Kingdom. And I forgot to mention this the other day, but Andrew Morton said there is not going to be a video of Meghan doing a curtsy in front of Kate Middleton. So Andrew Morton has been on my last nerve lately, but that time he got it right. That time he got it right. He told him flat out, if you're thinking that you're going to have a situation that you're going to see that, it's not going to happen. He said, you will never see Meghan Markle curtsy in front of Kate Middleton. Say it again, Andrew Morton. You will never see. It ain't going to happen. Oh, you noticed that? Well, I had to give him a bow tie because that's Uncle Trevor. Uncle Trevor is just like Uncle Ben. He brings comfort to white people. So I had to give him a bow tie. Wait a minute. Let me find it. I think one of my slides is out of order, but let me find it. Or is it? Sure is. There you go, right there. Wild rice, white rice, brown rice, long grain, short grain. Uncle Trevor's rice. Uncle Trevor has just what people need. He knows how to serve up the best possible rice. As a matter of fact, anybody who thinks he doesn't know how to cook rice is out of their cotton picking mind. The trouble for him is there's nobody there to cook for because his mouth then drove everybody away. But if you haven't had Uncle Trevor's rice, don't knock it. Okay, so and y'all be wondering, what's taking Barron so long? Barron had to cut and paste bow ties. That's what takes me so long. I had to make sure that I presented Trevor the way that I see him, and that's wearing a bow tie. So Big Mama, you like the way that snuck up on you? Oh, man. Yeah, but I had to call him like I see him. Trevor Phillips has a lonely life, and he had Meghan's name in his mouth because he is deluded like Piers into thinking she might want him. Yuck. Yuck. He's something else, though. Trevor Phillips, I don't know what motivates a person like that other than money. other than power, which no matter what happens, you see, let me tell you what's different about the United States compared to having an aristocracy like this. Trevor will always have to be subservient to the royal family. He has taken an oath. When he took that trinket, it's in as much as taking an oath to protect the royal family and all of the heirs. He's taken an oath. He has to do that. He has to wear a bow tie. He has to make rice. He has to do all that stuff. So essentially, he is guaranteeing that even if he has $1 billion tomorrow, that he's always going to be subservient to the Windsor family. We don't make promises like that in the US. We promise to serve a president, the president, whoever that president may be. That's the only promises we make. And then when their term is up, then it's supposed to go to the next president, whoever he or she may be. But with this, no matter what a bumbling fool they are, no matter how inappropriate they are, you're supposed to have their back. You're supposed to protect them from that American actress. And so you have to say stuff like this. You have to be the face of the conversations that's had behind the scenes. And that's what he's doing. Pam Porter, I tell you, it's enough to raise your blood pressure, ain't it? So that's that for Uncle Trevor and his rice. King Charles' first year was characterized by familial dysfunction and political chaos. Check. What have King Charles and the royal family accomplished for the country since Queen Elizabeth passing? Royal expert, well, that's supposed to be foul language. Royal expert, my you-know-what. Me, abso-freaking-lutely, you know what she means, abso-freaking-lutely nothing. And that's the point of the monarchy. They haven't achieved nothing. They haven't done anything, and ain't nothing got better. People are just as stuck in certain situations now as they were then. They haven't ended homelessness. They haven't made the environment any better, especially when you allowed water companies to put raw sewage out into the waters. So essentially nothing. So that's it. All this and why? Pro-Republic Scots have their say on lavish ceremony for King Charles. Chants of Not My King within St. Giles Cathedral during event. Activists tell of after police arrest protesters questioning costs. Well, at least in certain parts, more people are more motivated to call them out. 73-year-old man finally gets a job. And of course, not my king. This is why Charles is laying low. And you know what? It serves him right, because allowing the tabloids to target your son and his wife to the point where they live under a constant state of threat. Don't you think it's fair that people would come out in hundreds to protest you? You know what they call that? That is sauce for the goose. What goes around comes around, karma and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's only fair. Maybe this wouldn't be happening to him if he would have been more kind and generous emotionally as well as financially too. But it's okay though. We don't need your money now. The Sussexes are doing just fine without it. They showed up to a food bank in luxury cars, expensive clothes, 9 photographers, 2 videographers, assistants, security guards, and reporters, but not even a can of beans to offer. This was nothing but a disgusting photo op. They don't care about poor. Abolish the monarchy. See what I'm talking about? People are noticing. Now, this is an old clip from that food bank incident, the most recent one that they had, where look at how Kate's smiling. Look at how she's smiling. She got that big smile on her face, not for the people at the food bank, but for the cameras that's waiting. Then they had to walk about 100 feet. You see, they have the car parked further away so that the photographers can click, 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 get all those clicks so that they can have something to share in the papers. And of course, they didn't bring any food. And again, that's Uncle Ben. Uncle Trevor. As you can see, things are a bit out of order here. And check it out. Prince William has surreal run-in with Gaza as pair share a kiss at the Pret sandwich shop. Well, I didn't know that was some footballer, but I found out that he was a footballer from the past and that William should have recognized him. And of course, they said William even asked him, "What are you doing here?" Well, William, don't you know? They're trying to get as many famous people in a space that you're in to make it seem like you're relevant. That's why he's there. And plus, you know what? When you think about it, since that problem that William had being the president of the FA, don't you think having a kiss on the cheek from him is enough to try to smooth over things with the public? That's what I think. They're trying to smooth things over. So Prince William mourning the loss of of the Queen, September 2022. Now, you would be mistaken if you thought that this photo was from 2023. No, this is William in a deep state of mourning back in 2022. He never had it so good. There's a crowd of people. He's the center of attention. He never had it so good. You mean a crowd that's glad to see me? I'll take it. So in order to make sure that he got a good response, he invited the Sussexes to come with. But yeah, there you go. I mean, it's something about William and Kate. They don't read the room. They don't know when to have a big, engaging smile and when not to have one. That is pretty tacky. So all this, why? Pro-Republic Scots have this a lavish ceremony for the king, chance of not making. Oh, that's the same one, isn't it? Okay, next. Now, you guys, I pointed this out before the Beyonce concert. Now, take a look at that. Learn why the Sussexes are said to be receiving the cold shoulder in California and which stars are allegedly freezing them out. I still want to know that. Now, notice in the upper right corner, it says ad. This is an advertisement for the Telegraph. I thought for sure that they would have taken this down by now. It's still running on Twitter. Even though we have all of that footage, all of the photos from last week, all of that, and still they are using this to get clicks. They are using this to get subscribers. Notice how vague and ambiguous that comment, what do you call it? The comment is right there. Learn why the Sussexes are said to be receiving the cold shoulder in California and why stars are allegedly freezing them out. Well, if that's not enough to make you curious and want to figure out who, but the only way to do that, you got to get a subscription to the Telegraph. So it's as though none of this stuff happened. This is why I can't believe they are still running that. It's as if to say none of this happened. This was all just a figment of our imagination. Meghan wasn't sitting in a box, a luxury box at that, or balcony, with billionaires and power brokers. None of that happened. Meghan didn't end up on the front page of the Times. That didn't happen. Hanging out with her good girlfriends that she's known for years. So, and by the way, the Daily Mail still hasn't shown anything about the Sussexes dance, and they're still holding out on that. But what's the deal, Telegraph? What's the deal? That's Jeff Bezos on the left. That's Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, on the right. That's the Netflix guy. And what was that Marshar called him? Was it Marshar? And his black wife. Who was that that called her black wife? Anyway, that's him and his black wife. But yeah, that is a balcony vastly different, that is, from what the Windsors usually have. So there's diversity, there's self-made wealth, not ties to colonialism and the aristocracy. What you have there is a meritocracy, a meritocracy, that is. Jeff Bezos, who started a book distributing company in his garage, and now he's the wealthiest man in the world. This man literally started Amazon in a garage. He decided to cut out the middleman, to undercut book publishers. It was all very crude. They operated at a loss, and now they're making money hand over fist. Very different from the Windsors, which just depend on the sovereign grant, which in other words is taxpayers' money. Interesting how that works out. And yet the Telegraph is still running this ad. Harry and Meghan have violated Hollywood A-lister code, and there's no turning back. How ominous does that sound? There's no turning back. Well, if there's no turning back, I guess we just have to keep going forward, don't we? Right? Don't go backwards, go forward. And forward. Even Doria. There's no this is going back, right? And this is going forward. I rest my case. So if the Telegraph is listening to me right now, take it down. You're wasting your time. This is how you envision things. This is the reality of it, is that there's a lot of very powerful people that enjoy having the Sussexes in their company, and likewise. And just think about it. All of this is because Matt and his partner wanted to go see the Beyonce concert. All of this happened because Matt and his partner decided that they would get a luxury box, or whatever you call those things, and go to the Beyonce concert. And for that, it has just totally dispelled all types of nonsense that has been going on way too long. Now, speaking of nonsense, this is what I was talking about earlier. Invictus Games is blocking the Rangers, and the usual suspects are losing their poop, blaming it on the Sussex squad. Now, I'm sure some of you all recognize that account. No need to say the name of it. If you know, you know. It's a squatty who runs that account. They actually have squatties working as volunteers, and Harry's favorite squatty will be there, just like she is at every one of his games. Well, if you know, like I know, Yes, she will be there. As a matter of fact, I'm sure she's there right now. That is Peace, if you don't know her. Peace is like Squatty extraordinaire. Peace takes the fight to them. Peace goes into the trenches. What I'm trying to say is Peace appeared on British television wearing a Sussex Squad t-shirt doing a news report that had nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. And ever since then, I have done nothing but celebrate Peace. So, yeah, she'll be there, but that's not who's running the account. The account is being monitored because every time something happens with the Sussexes, they go wild with all of their accusations and nonsense and lies. And so, why would you allow them to participate on those pages, especially at a crucial time like this? You wouldn't. If you were them, would you want them? I certainly don't. And even the person down there at the bottom on the thread says, "You're right. I'm blocked too." So there you go. They have been blocked. This is why I say, if you are a deranger and you think that you're going to go and try to disrupt something, or you want to try and take photos and stuff like that to use later, I'm telling you, the squad is on it. The Sussex squad will be there. There will be some very, very, very smart people there that are going to call you out. And then eventually you're going to get thrown out. So I suggest you lay low, be cool, and try not to cause any problems because it'll be a big mistake. Let's see. YM Droid says, but Kate's party had applesauce and Viagra. Okay, so the applesauce is for the loss of teeth. They need a soft diet. And of course, the other, well, that goes without explaining. Oh, wow, they just had an earthquake in Morocco. Hundreds? Oh, wow. Hundreds killed after a powerful earthquake strikes Morocco. I didn't know they had earthquakes there. Jeez. Oh, that does something. I just saw that pop up in the corner there. All right. So, thank you again, YM Droid. Thank you for the super chat. And let me move on here. Okay. And where are we? Duke of Sussex memoir Spare climbs back up the charts at number 3, top of the library pops. Well, this is for the North Yorkshire Library. Apparently, Prince Harry's book in the North Yorkshire Library, I guess that's only for that particular branch of the library or system of the library, but Spare is back at number 3. Interesting. I mean, it is the fastest selling non-fiction book in history, the fastest selling over 6 million units since it's been released. You guys, we have reached the end of an era. Do you guys remember Teenager Therapy? A reflection on our adolescence, a reflection on our coming of age and our last full year as teenagers. Join us as we sit on the beach at sunset to discuss the lessons we've learned throughout our adolescence and honest episode. An honest episode recounting our struggles, triumphs, and hopes as we enter one of the most transformative decades of our lives. So their last episode is going to take place on September the 18th. If you don't recall, that is the Teenage Therapy right there. They actually have this pinned on their Twitter. And I suppose ever since 20 2020, when the Sussexes met with them, they have had this at the very top pinned on their Twitter account. Extremely thankful Harry and Meghan took the time out of their day to highlight our work. They're incredible. And so everything that has happened since 2020, it was, what was it, January? No, not January. It had to have been, let me see, I think it had to be maybe April or May, something like that, after the Sussexes moved to California. Anyway, ever since then, I guess they have remained in contact with the Sussexes, but extremely thankful to Harry and Meghan took time out of their day to highlight our work. They're incredible. Well, anyway, these kids are older, and they are pretty soon not going to be teenagers anymore. This is their last year on Earth as teenagers. And so they are letting go of their very successful podcast. How sweet is that? And anyway, let me go here. 11th Asian U.S. Summit. I am so proud of the vice president, the first and only woman to hold the highest rank in the United States as vice president. And look at her, all of those men. And then there's Kamala Harris, the 49th vice president of these United States. I repeat, the 49th vice president of these United States, Kamala Harris. So she is making us very, very proud. Pam Porter, I didn't know that either. I had no idea. So, Gone Girl, that of course is Kamala Harris walking in the footsteps of people like Ruby Bridges. As you know, Ruby Bridges was another person to break a glass ceiling, kind of, sort of, maybe. And interestingly enough, today is the 69th birthday of Ruby Bridges, her 69th birthday. She's still alive, and she's still working as a civil rights activist. And this is a very famous painting by Norman Rockwell, and it depicts the scene that took place when Ruby Bridges had to be ushered into a mostly white, if not all white school. I think it was all white school. She integrated a local school, and to do so, it required armed federal marshals. There were armed federal marshals back in 1960 when she integrated a school. And for that reason, I have a lot of respect for the president of the United States, Dwight Eisenhower. You see, Dwight Eisenhower was a Republican. Unlike the last president we had, he understood that the Constitution was way more important than personal feelings. And so while he may have been racist or had racist tendencies, I really don't know. The thing is, he followed the rule of law. When the United States Supreme Court said she had a right to go to that school that was paid for with taxpayers' dollars, instead of Dwight Eisenhower ignoring the situation, he actually sent federal marshals to that school district to ensure her safety. Now, there were people lined up in the streets yelling the N-word, as you can see painted on the wall behind her there. Now, this did not actually happen exactly like that, but this is an artistic interpretation of the federal marshals and Ruby Bridges. Now, this little girl is not Ruby Bridges. It is someone who modeled for that painting. And so I saw an image of Kamala Harris walking along with the shadow of Ruby Bridges. So with a lot of cutting and pasting and photoshopping and cutting and pasting, I was able to recreate the image of Ruby Bridges. But instead of having Kamala Harris, I actually added our Duchess as someone else who has found herself in a space where she was not exactly welcomed, but had a God-given right to be there. So that is how that came about. So happy 69th birthday, Ruby Bridges, and many happy returns of the day. Thank you for all of your sacrifice and heroism. Happy birthday. And of course, we are reaching the end of our Royal Sussex for tonight. So I am going to say goodnight to our queen and, of course, our queens. And since this is the accession day for Charles III, I'm going to have to say goodnight to our other queen who had something really odd happen to her back in 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. Just ask Philip. I haven't done that so long. I have to, get some practice in. 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. This is why I could never meet Prince Harry, because if I ever met Prince Harry and he asked me, what was that about 1992? I would probably just collapse to the ground. My knees would buckle. So I never want to meet Prince Harry. I will never take a photograph with Prince Harry. As a matter of fact, I hope Prince Harry has never watched Royal Sussex. I would prefer that he is living with something they call, what do they call it? Deniability, unaccepted, acceptable. You know what word I'm looking for. But yeah, I would prefer he never photograph with me. I don't even want to be on the same plane. None of that stuff. So there you go, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. Thank you all for your very generous contributions. Always appreciated by Royal Sussex. And listen, you guys, I make no fuss about the means of contribution. However it suits you, whatever's convenient for you, I am fine with that. You don't have to go through anything extra or anything like that. It's appreciated. Also, thank you for the people who have sent some things from my wish list. Love my wish list. I will put the thing up again. I've decided to do that monthly, maybe. So every month I'll put the information for the Royal Sussex wish list up. And remember, you're not obligated to buy anything, but if you want me to smile and show whoever is in the room with me all of my missing and failing teeth, or I could put my dentures in. I could put my partials. Yeah, I could put my partials in next time. So yeah, if you want me to smile and show everybody my new partials, then you can go ahead and go to the Royal Sussex wish list. But nobody is obliged to do it. No obligation. But it's fun. It makes me feel like Christmas has come early. Okay, so that's that. Let me look at a couple of your comments before I go. I'm getting a little post-nasal drip. It rained today, and it's messing with my sinuses. Hold on a second. I got to make a gross sound. Okay. There we go. Good night, Kim Peaches, Vanny Blair, Brenda Lawler. Good night, Joy and Moore, Black Queen. Good night, Leisha. Good night, Mad World, Diane Hawkins, Faith You, Leisha, did I say that already? Pam Porter, Susie Q, Novi D. You guys, Should we have a little watch party before I go? You know what? Why am I even asking the question? I think we need to go to the islands. We really do need to go to the islands on the way out. So let's start here. He's bringing it out right now.
And Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there. Camilla is a wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other bitch. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients, living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
Living off the taxpayers of the British people. Okay, you guys. Trenchtown? Okay. I could do a Trenchtown. Hey, Prince. Trenchtown.
Prince, Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about what you mean as royals? Or as, like, Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen is
their celebrity.
For me,
I love the Queen.
Brilliant.
I love the Queen.
No, duty, responsibility.
She's always worked really hard,
But
hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really hard.
They don't pay for all of the houses. But
Just a few.
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it. What don't you get? I haven't played that one in a while. I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
And for that,
What's that? Say it again.
nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. One last video. Let me see. Okay. One last video for tonight. Okay. Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall. Wait for it. Wait for it. I'm going to forward it a little bit. Uh-oh, I went too far. Okay. Anything
way I know how.
from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This is my own feelings being expressed the only way I know how. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, share, donate, etc. If you would like to make a donation and you don't know how, to help support this channel, you can go to the comments section where you can find links to the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Cash App. Thanks for watching Royal Sussex.